Hey everybody, hey, this is Al with El Rey Collection, and I decided to jump on here. Had some piling up of mail, and just wanted to, get out there, see if anybody wants to chat about anything going on in the collecting world. So yes, so funny that you should mention this, Mr. Nolan. Got a box here from Brad. Have a few other things coming in, and it's just let's see what's going on. I have not won a ton of things recently, and I think the market is definitely firming up in a number of areas. I think it's been a great year for the collector, and hopefully that stuff is gonna continue. So let's see. Let's just get to it. If you guys got any other comments, give me a holler, and we can chat about things. Let me know kind of what you've been buying, what you've been seeing out there too in the comments. I'll try to check them periodically. It's kind of hard to do, a lot of reading and also carefully open some things. So let's see what we've got here. I guess it's a Monday too. Well, it's a big box for just a few things got here. I love when people use packing tape, so thank you, Brad, for that. It's just a lot easier, a lot less stressful than other types of tape. You can easily get it off. And in here, I actually forget what a lot of this stuff is that I've got sitting here. So there'll be some nice surprises, I guess. Always like nothing like a cure for a Monday is a few things to make you smile. So let's see what this stuff is. I don't think there's anything huge in here, but fun nonetheless. All right. So here we go. Yep. So some good stuff. All right. So we've got this is fun. Here's a let's see. I gotta get the angle right. Here's a Combi. This one isn't super common. These Principe Sports from Italy. All these are in pretty much bad shape. Kind of like the way these are holding up in the CSG or CG. God, I keep getting all their initials wrong. Kind of like the way they're holding up in these slabs. And if you do get if you do a submission on them, if you have one of their memberships, they can be like $10 to do these submissions. Here's another one right here. I love this little issue. It just makes me feel like these shouldn't have survived. So yeah, a lot of these early Italian issues from the 30s. This is Virginia Rosetta. It's kind of nice eye appeal. So all of these are grading really low. You can see it's got some paper loss on the back. Still, always enjoy adding those to the collection. We also got these Spanish cards, which have always really enjoyed these. There's the Samatier. And this one has the Orthe back. There's so many different backs on these. They're so ornate. Right, here's the Zamora. And all three of these have the same backs. So these are fun. And here's the Alcantara. Again, with the Orthe back. A little bit of paper loss down here. So ones and twos. Par for the course on these, but really pretty. These 1920s. I mean, I've always loved these 20s Italian cards. They're not for everybody because they're slightly oversized. So, they don't fit in a card saver. I mean, in a penny sleeve, you got to put them right into a card saver. Again, they're grading ones and twos anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. So let's see. I'm just gonna pull these off. Don't like even painter's tape on my on the card savers. So this is what they look like again without the tape on it. This is going to be, here you go. Let's put the keeper in the middle. So here you go. Really, really, really nice colors for cards that are 120 years old. Those nice little Orthy cards. So great there. And then we've got some ungraded stuff. Again, Piola, you know, I think that you guys have heard me chat about this. So here we go. The you know, I really just think that Piola is like, you know, half a step below Mesa, you know, so not like super different, but you know, the pricing on his items just hasn't really, you know, caught on except for some really you know, unique ones. So you know, I like to pick these up. I know these aren't very rare. They're being from the, you know, the late, you know, 40s, so they're not even close to rookies. I just like the way they look. And those of you who know me know that I love the Joe cards. So always trying to pick up those here and there. And here's a Doig card, a Clark's. These are tougher than the standard Wills. So picking another one of those up. So a little bit mixed bag. It looks like you know, just fun stuff to add to the collection. I think I had the Wills bag. I think I was missing the Clarks on this one, but you know, half the time I buy dupes and don't even recognize it because not very well organized. I just like to buy and open the mail, and then it just, you know, I don't necessarily organize it nearly as well as I could. So let's see what we got in this next one. This one comes from Italy. So let's see what we got. Based on the packaging, I don't think this is another one's probably not very high value, but let's see. Make sure, you know, every time you open these things, you're like dissecting something. So let's see. Okay. How do we open this without? Here we go. Perfect. All right. Oh yeah, these I just thought had great eye appeal. And this is, in particular, I was after this card. You can see this. It's a Boniface card. It's actually, these are actually bigger than I remember. It's a Juventus cards, but look at this. Let me see if I can put this into comparison that you may know. Look, what's a more standard card? Shoot, well here, how about this Clark's? Okay. So it's basically the size, but the length of a Clark's card, a little less, but much, much wider and beautiful colors. So did not have this one. Here's another just underappreciated player in general. I think so. You know, I know that not a lot of people care about, you know, certain players, but you know, I think when you research them, you're like, wow, this guy wasn't so different from another guy that does, you know, that does substantially better. So that was a fun one. And the card actually is a little slightly bigger than I thought, which is cool because I think it would look nice in a holder. I'm not sure if PSA grades those, but I think CGC does. You know, I'm dyslexic, so and they keep changing their name, so it's on them. Another one we had that I got, which is actually kind of funny because I think this one may also be from Brad. I blacked it out, but since he's here, he can probably tell. Kirkland vodka, so it must be Brad based on that. Kirkland vodka box, you know, so here we go. Let's take a look. See what we got here. Oh, yeah. So he is a green. Yes, that is. Okay, so what was this? some more Italian. He's obviously Brad is heavy into the Italian stuff. So let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, how funny that I got the. This is really kind of a funny timing because I don't really I'm not actively out there trying to get a ton of Bonaparte's stuff. I just, but actually, Brad did have a couple of his earlier cards. This is what 47, I think. Is that right? Yeah. So this is kind of cool. One of those to go with the Italians, and this one's also a 47. And those are pretty good grades. I gotta be honest, like when I see these grades on these cards, I generally for CSG, and this may be fair, maybe not fair. You guys tell me what your thoughts are. I think they have a tendency to slightly overgrade vintage relative to what I typically expect from a PSA card. Again, it runs the gamut, and I don't want to talk in generalizations, but when I see a number in their cards, I'm usually thinking, okay, that would probably cross a little bit lower to PSA. That may not be fair because I haven't tried to cross a lot of those cards. It's just in my experience when I look at these cards up close versus other cards there, I'm like, okay, that would probably be, this one would be probably maybe the eye appeal is good, a PSA 3.5. That would be my guess. Again, could I be wrong? Could it be a 6? Yes. Could it be a 3? Yes. Unfortunately, I've shown, with the exception of SGC, to be a rather poor grader in what I think a card should grade both up and down. So there's surprises all over the place. For whatever reason, with SGC, I tend to be more spot on. Then here's another fun Bonaparte cartoon. This is a cool, kind of a cool back. So that's fun. So some fun Italian stuff. Let's get into some other things. What do we got here? So this is coming from the U.S., obviously. Priority mail. Let me see. I've got some comments here. So let's see what we got. Italian cards have amazing color. Yeah, I mean that is, it's it's the same to the U.S., John. So you gotta sometimes get see if you can get 2, 3, 4 things, or if the postage, like this postage that I got on this Italian stuff was just the non-DHL, so you can just go through their regular post office, low value. I think that card was probably, I don't know, $5, $10, something like that. So you just find cards that you like and you risk them through the normal mail, and hope that they're decently packaged. And if they are, great. I mean, most of this vintage stuff is low grade anyway, so it's not like they can get much more damaged in the mail. And people usually put, like a little piece of, like in this case, this guy put this pizza Qatari thing to make it a little harder. But yeah, that's part of the problem. I try to go through a lot of those guys' stores from now and then and ask them if they have certain players and just add on. In this particular case, the guy didn't have anything else, so I just shipped it. So yeah, totally get that. It's frustrating, part of our global marketplace, but you just got to eat it from time to time. Yeah, hey, Fisher Karma always seems to make it. Yeah, glad you could catch the stream here today. I know you like to do that, catch them live. Yeah, exactly. Lots of pieces of pizza boxes. Yeah, between the pizza boxes and then Brad's vodka, I think I'm starting to see a theme here for this evening. Okay, so this one came from the U.S., but if I recall right, it could be a continuation on this Italian theme. This is, I believe, yep, that was right. Okay, so this card actually doesn't get a ton of respect in the hobby, but I think it's just totally underrated. It's of I know defenders generally aren't that loved, but this is the Franco Baresi it's not the rarest of his, rookie constellation here, but it is, really like much tougher than the Calciatore sticker. And he has a legitimate claim to the best defender ever. So I just love this card, this Edis card. There's a couple other ones. If you saw my 1970s video, if you didn't, check out because it's on my YouTube. There is another one that's preferable, but I definitely take this over the Panini Calciatore. Just the Edis ones are tougher, and it's just kind of a cool headshot, the standard headshot, as opposed to the full body one. Let me see, I probably have one of those over here. Yes, I do. This is the one for those of you who don't know what I was talking about on the Panini Calciatore. This is the Panini Calciatore. Actually, not a bad grade. It's an 8. Anyway, I'd prefer this one to that in similar grade. All right, let's see what else we got here. All right. So this one is coming from Portugal. All right. So that's fun. It looks like it even has a Portuguese. Yeah, this is another one of those, to John's point, of just using the local, I think it's called PTT there, thing. So it's less expensive than the DHL, which you need for higher value shipments. So this is one that just came through my post office, gets put in my mailbox, and then I don't need to sign for it or anything like that. So let's see what we've got here. Like, I literally don't remember what this is. Right now, it's a lot of packaging. All right. So let us see. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. This is funny. So this is like a placeholder kind of in my collection. The Paulo Futre. I mean, great, amazing career. This is one of his, I want to say, 4 or 5 kind of rookie-ish stickers. This one's probably the best, well known, and I just haven't had good copies of these through the years. And not that a 3 is a great copy, but it's just a nice. I'll call this it's a placeholder for me till I get a nicer copy that I like. I love the format of this card. I mean, it's blank black, which we don't like, but as you know, most of these things are supposed to be put into albums. Here you go, colle aquí, paste here. So yeah, this is a good one, and I'm trying to get a few of his rookie cards. They tend to be more expensive than you'd think for what is largely a semi-forgotten player. Man, I hate to talk about him like that, but he's semi-forgotten player to a certain extent. But the people who have them, don't usually let them go inexpensively, and they tend to do well in auctions because they don't come up very often. Yeah, so I don't know, I can't. I think most of those are 84s. I think there are a few 83s besides those, but they're tough. They're certainly tough. Oh, I'm glad to see, John. You've got the Bereses too. Oh, hey, Tutomobil. Hey, greetings from Romania. Nice. Don't have people from there all the time. So thank you. And then back to John here. Those Bereses I think are great, and he's super underrated. I mean, defenders in general. I'm just doing my 1980s best video, best cards from my 1980s, and it just reminds me how unappreciated defenders are in the hobby. And there's a couple of defenders in my 1980s video, which is kind of unique. when I look through the history of the cards that I've put in my top cards by decade. So stay tuned for that. Plan to have that 1980s video out this week. So looking forward to that. And then let's see, what did kids? Yeah, I mean he. So that's interesting about FIFA. I'm not a big FIFA player, but it is good that if you get into the all-time greats in FIFA, that does create some awareness of you. Yeah, so I think that's you know I think that's important because these are really important historical players that played amazing roles in both their clubs and their countries. I specifically thinking of Maldini right now, that I didn't realize he had won, like, I think he won like the best defender in Serie A in like when he's like 39, right? I mean, he was just so good for so long, and kind of some of these epic battles in time. I think when Barcelona lost in the European Cup in when was that, 91? Was that 91 or 93? I don't know. I think it was a Romario team. Anyway, these defenders, I think, totally underrated, and a lot of them, or at least the ones we've been talking about here, Maldini and Baresi, happen to be Italian. But you could enter a lot of different names in there and say that they don't get any hobby love, and I think that's not just soccer/football. I think it's also like American, football defenders don't get a ton of love, in that side of the hobby, and like hockey don't get a ton of love, and just great fielders outside of a few in baseball, maybe Ozzie Smith or somebody like that, which probably, like, fundamentally in comparison to others, don't get a ton of love. So let's see. So let me see if I'm missing some stuff in here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that you could play with some of those all-time greats. I think that will help them. Hopefully, Maldini's in there. Hopefully, Beckenbauer's in there, or some of these guys. I think it's also interesting, the dream, um, like the Ballon d'Or teams that they were creating, and just some of the historic teams that people have created, are bringing some of these names back that people don't necessarily think about on a daily basis because they don't see them play. So that's number one. And so I think anything that kind of exposes people to some of the history of the game is really important, whether that's a video game or anything else. So here we have our friend from Romania saying, "Wow, that's pretty cool. Your FIFA Mobile, okay, yeah." So that's pretty cool. I didn't really get that, but that's I don't know how they decide who's in there and who's not. But that is pretty exciting to know that there's a lot of these players getting out there, because otherwise, how would you know? Like, I wonder who's talking about Mario Kempes, right? Who's talking about Daniel Passarella? I mean, even people that I grew up with, like Batigol, Batistuta, are do you get to see these guys? In FIFA, Hugo Sanchez, Zico. I mean, they aren't even that old, but one thing that I was reading about the other day, which I had known, but I kind of relearned it, was somebody like Baggio, was ranked, and of course there's recency bias, right? But at the turn of the century, when they were ranking the best strikers ever, he was ranked the fourth best striker ever. No, yeah, that was Baggio, right? At the turn of the century. So that to me is just crazy. I mean, with like Pele and Maradona above him, but like he was the fourth best. And how many people talk about Baggio today? And that was, what, 20 plus years ago? I mean, we're not talking like 50 years, 70 years. The answer is not many, right? So it's good to have some of these guys get some of the notoriety, and probably even from the 70s, 60s, and 50s, if you weren't named Pele and Beckenbauer, a lot of those guys, Luisito Suarez or Kubala or these types of players that just kind of somewhat drift off, right, into awareness. Now, even if you go, for instance, to Camp Nou, you'd see a big statue of Kubala, and that he's kind of in the consciousness of a club, but not necessarily in the consciousness of collectors worldwide. So, anyway, that's part of what our Discord tries to do. So, if you guys aren't subscribed to our Discord, please make sure you do. I'll drop down the address that you can just pop in there and join and share ideas with people and hopefully get that. So here's another couple of comments that I missed. Oh, image rights from Maradona. Yep. Okay. I wondered if that was going to be part of the show. Oh, that's pretty cool. Jairzinho. Yeah, he's great. Great Brazilian legend. Nice to have him in there. Obviously he did great in the 1970 World Cup. It was just a great player in general. So it's nice to see they're adding some of those players in FIFA. I would recommend you guys all add those players in your collection. We've mentioned a ton of great players here so far tonight. And you know what? I don't have any other stuff. I got a couple of PSA orders coming back this week that I'll probably open next week. And just some other things trickling in. But nothing too huge. That's why I just wanted to jump on here and do this. I'm focused more on my reviving my cards by decade, and that's what I'm doing now. So I'll be issuing the 80s and the 90s here over the next couple weeks. Now including PSA pop reports. Always looking to improve and take feedback from people. So those should be out. That'll be fun, and then I'll start back on some of my player videos that a lot of people have requested in some different themes. So. Looking forward to continuing to create additional content for you guys. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Also, let me please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Please like this video. It helps the algorithm as well. Helps more people get interested in soccer in general. And then I missed a couple things here as I was going through. Hey, LB. Yeah, that was fun. That was definitely, and again, come to listen to these debates. We got lots of debates about cards, about preferences, about auctions, about fair pricing, about all sorts of stuff. So come in here. If you don't feel like you have enough knowledge to contribute, just go in there and listen and learn, because I think there's a lot of people who share a lot of great information in our Discord. Al B being one of those. This is him. Champions of Sport from Australia. So anyway, guys, without anything else to open, I guess stay tuned. Next week I'll probably be on doing some more probably PSA openings and whatever stragglers we happen to have from a mail perspective. And then in the meantime, enjoy your collecting, and we'll see you out there on the Discord. Thanks, everybody. See ya. Bye.